Welcome back, Chaos Squad, and I got something huge to tell you. It's a big secret. Are you ready? Winter has finally come. Alright guys, it's finally happened. We can be happy and we can be sad all at once and rejoice. Game of Thrones, the finale of Season 7, has finally aired. Now, it's kind of awesome. It kind of sucks because we're at a Game of Thrones again for, I heard, maybe December, like late 2018, I think, or maybe even 2019. So that kind of sucks. But I'm gonna keep an eye on that and see what's true and what isn't. But I think it is gonna be a long time, most likely. Season 7 was delayed quite a bit. But anyways, guys, here is Game of Thrones Season 7, Episode 7, the season finale, The Dragon and the Wolf. Now, let's review this, let's recap this. Gonna try and do a little bit different than usual, just kind of like talk a little bit, try not to recap it as much. So basically, the episode started off really kind of weird. I was kind of confused. We had the Unsullied all stationed in huge like battalion and like rows and everything, like right outside. I don't know where it was at first. Like, is this King's Landing? This was a huge time skip. And then you see Jaime manning the walls, or Braun actually, and saying like, how much oil do we have? It's 500 barrels. Get 500 more. This is crazy. These dickless bastards out here are gonna wreck us. And him and Jaime got a banter about how like dicks are everything. They seem to talk about dicks a lot on the show, honestly. Yeah. Now I thought the Unsullied were quite huge, and then we get the Blood Riders that move in, you know, their war cries and everything. This is like the vast number of Dany's army is huge. Like, it's really visualized very well. So they did a great job at capturing that scene right there. That was kind of cool. Then I realized we've skipped all the way ahead to the meeting between the two queens and the one or two kings. Like, the Greyjoy uncle Euron, I was technically calling himself a king at one point, so one or two kings, Jon being the one for sure, and Euron probably not so much right now. I'm not really sure, kind of confused. So we get this meeting set up. We get the Hound finally. We get him to see his brother, and he hasn't seen him since he's been turned into Zombie Mountain. And we get a huge dick tease here by HBO and the writers once again. They know everybody wants to see the Hound square off against the Mountain. It's been like hinted at, and everybody thought it was going to happen, and it just hasn't really happened. But it's one of the most anticipated fights I think everybody would want to see. And he's like staring at him, kind of like, you know, you're uglier than me now, and all that kind of stuff. I hope you remember me, because, you know, all this kind of stuff. I'm gonna put you to the end, kind of thing. Then he kind of like disappears, and nobody really knows where he fucks off to, kind of thing, right? I'm like, whoa, where'd he go? And then you get some bantering back and forth. The Hound comes back with the big crate on his back, open it up, and the dead things didn't charge us straight at Cersei. Right before we even get to that, sorry, I kind of skipped over something that was kind of very interesting. When everybody sat down, Dany was casually late. She made this huge entrance with her dragons, and like Cersei didn't really even flinch. Like, everybody was always in awe the first time they seen the dragons. She just kind of chilled there, and then gave her shit for being late. She's like, we've been waiting here like a long time. It was like 2 minutes. But anyways, the zombie White Walker charges straight at Cersei, and she was like quite actually taken back and kind of freaked out. The Hound had it on a chain. They cut it in half. They show that it's still coming at them like relentlessly with half a body. Eventually they kill it with dragon glass, and Cersei's like, shit, this is crazy. Like, I didn't even know what to say. She kind of like, first time we actually see Cersei look a little bit rattled in a long time, if not ever. So Euron goes over, kind of like touches his hair, kind of like takes a closer look at it, asks Jon, can these things swim? Jon's like, nope. He's like, good. Seacrest out. He just pieces out. I'm like, wow, Cersei would not let him walk away. This is so weird. Like, you know, like, I was waiting for her to kill him there, and he just like, he was gone. But yeah, it looks like he screws Cersei. We'll delve a little bit more into that a little bit later on. But that scene was kind of like weird. Then John is put on a very awkward spot here, and it's kind of interesting. What really like led to Ned's demise is his honesty, right? So like you're thinking John just lie, say whatever you have to say. She asks him, you got to stay out of it and not take a side whenever this shit calms down, goes back to normal. And John's like, I've already pledged my allegiance. He's finally bent the knee to Daenerys, and he's gonna stand by her. He couldn't even lie. And she pieces off right after this, and everybody's like, couldn't you lie for once? He's like, if we start lying, like words mean nothing even if we live, kind of thing. And it's true, it's kind of interesting and whatever, but his dad was super honest, one of the most honorable dudes, and in the end it was kind of his own like demise and what led to his end. So kind of sucked, but it was kind of funny. So Tyrion moves up into the castle to kind of like fix things, and figures out that Cersei is pregnant. I don't think she is, but she's still playing the card. She's pregnant. I think she's using that to pull Jaime's chain a little bit, which is interesting as well. That we'll talk about in a little bit. But really cool scene there, where you think Tyrion's gonna die, and she almost looks like she okays it for the Mountain to kill Tyrion, but no, he doesn't. We jump back to Winterfell. A lot of jumping back and forth in this episode. Then we finally get to see what has been going on in here a little bit. Sansa says, fetch for my sister. It's got all the viewers thinking, here comes the execution, or jailment, or whatever she's going to do to Arya. And, Sansa starts, like, rattling off the crimes committed, all that kind of stuff. Arya's standing there. She's like, are you really going to do this? And she's like, yeah. How do you confess for these murder and treason, etc.? Littlefinger. And I was like, oh, I actually didn't see that coming. I don't know how, but it was weird. Me and my buddy have been talking about this, like how strange it is that Arya, being as stealthy as she is, as crazy as she is, was falling for all Littlefinger's little things. It didn't make much sense. This makes sense that in the end they were playing him. So that actually makes a lot of sense. I didn't really see it coming. I thought they were just kind of like screwing with that whole thing, and it was kind of poorly written or whatever, but that was really cool. And then Arya, just savage as hell, walks up, slashes Littlefinger's throat with the blade that was given to kill Bran. And it's really funny because he's trying to like bullshit his way out of that, and then Bran just chilling in his chair over there. He's like, I seen it. You had the knife to my father's throat. You did this. You did that. I seen it all. And then he's like, well, just the look he gives Bran is perfect. It was really good acting on Peter Baelish's actor. His character was done very well to a T right to the end right there. Although his acting was a little bit weird throughout the last few episodes of the season. I was kind of wondering if it was Arya that was in his body, like wearing his face or something. But at the end it was just funny. But then he breaks down, which is very on Peterish. So that was very interesting to see him just collapse and cry. But Bran just chilling. He's like, you did this and you did this. And he's like, what the hell are you, kind of thing. And yeah, just savage as hell, slashes his throat. So that's going to open up a little bit of a interesting gray area with the Vale. But I think Robert's still alive. He was just kind of doing things until he got older, I think. I don't think he killed Robert. Everything's kind of fusing together up top. It's been a while. But anyways, that was crazy, right? Then we see Jaime rallying the banners like Cersei told him to go do, to rally north and go help the north. Then she gives him shit like, what the hell are you doing? Now this is a really interesting scene because I've been saying to my buddy for a while, Jaime's gonna die, Cersei's gonna kill him. And then a lot of people are saying, do you think Cersei could actually kill Jaime? I think she's too close to him and won't do it. And I was thinking, I think it's gonna do it. I think it's gonna be in the finale, and I thought it was gonna happen. She even nodded to the Mountain, I thought, after she's saying, you're being a traitor. He's like, I can't go back on my word. I said I'd help, and she's like, blah blah blah. It's kind of funny because it's exactly what everybody else told Jon to do is what she's doing. She is just so cold and conniving. You can't trust her. I can't believe the others fell for it, and hopefully they didn't, but I'm pretty sure they believe her. Well, anyways, Jaime sees Cersei basically say, I'm gonna kill you. I don't know what happened there. I could have swore she nodded. Very interesting. But he pieces out on a horse. I don't think he's gonna go warn everybody. Is he gonna die on the way? I don't think so. I think he's gonna die next season. That's a guess of mine. I'd like to know your guys' thoughts about that, though. And then we go onto the boat. But before we go to the boat, actually, this is where winter has finally come. It took 7 seasons. We see the snowflakes dropping on Jamie's glove that he's putting on his pimp hand there. So winter's finally here in King's Landing. Crazy. Then we go on the boat. Hashtag boat sex. Danny does the dirty to John. John maxes it up with his aunt. Crazy. And as they're banging away on the boat, rocking the boat, Samuel Tarly arrives at Winterfell. And he meets Bran. And he's like, I can't believe you remember me. He's like, I know everything. I'm the Three-Eyed Raven. And Sam's like, yeah, what the hell does that even mean? I don't know what that means. And Bran's just like, I see things from the past, the future, now, that kind of thing. Well, not really the future, but I think he can. But anyways, and he's like, John has to know that he is, you know, my father's not his father, and he's technically like a sned or sand or something like that. Basically a Dornish bastard, I think. And Sam's like, no, he's not, because Rhaegar's marriage was annulled. So I guess he actually did pay attention to Gilly when she was reading that, which is interesting because he blew her off, and he seemed to know everything. So that was really weird, because he was kind of half listening and then just cut her off. I don't think he listened to enough to know as much as he did, which is really strange. But then he asked Bran, can you see this? And Bran jumps back into the vision, seeing them get married, and then Ned dying next to his sister. She whispers into his ear his real name. His real name is Aegon Targaryen. And there's been many Aegons, and I was really confused when she said that, because I was like, what the hell? And like, so I think he's the sixth Aegon Targaryen. It's a very popular name, and apparently a lot of the Targaryens name themselves the same names or whatever, but I was a little confused there. I think in the book there was another Aegon that lived for quite a while, or is still alive or something like that. I can't remember, but like, is he a fake one? I'm kind of I'm a little bit confused, but the show's ahead of the book, so it doesn't have to like line up anyways. But I'm pretty sure there's some weird thing with Aegon in the book that doesn't quite line up there. But so I guess the Targaryens like to keep it in the family, kind of like the Lannisters, I guess. So I'm kind of really interested to know how they're gonna feel when they realize, you know, they're like aunt and like nephew or whatever, or and that makes John the rightful heir to the throne apparently as well, because his dad was supposed to be or whatever, so he's more of a rightful heir now. Is that, I think that's gonna maybe split them apart maybe in the time to come, but in another sense I don't think it will, because John's not the power hungry type, and I think he'll just give it to Dany in the end, or I think he's gonna die. One of the two are gonna die, I think one is going to live in the end, but I'm not really sure about that. That's just my kind of guess. Then our last scene is the craziest one of all. The wall gets destroyed by the zombie dragon. He was flying around really weird. I thought the CGI was a little weird on him, but I think they were just trying to really show the movements of a zombie dragon or whatever. So I guess that was kind of cool in the end. But he blows the shit of the wall. I have no clue if Tormund's still alive. He probably is, because he should have a little bit more of an epic death than just maybe crumbling into the wall. But yeah, the dragon's shooting blue flames. Does that mean they're super hot? Because usually the closer to white, like blue on is like hotter than red. Or is it just mean it's like a frost flame? Because it wasn't really melting the ice. It was just like destroying everything. So that's kind of interesting, but that dude was riding him everywhere, so it's gonna be really interesting to see him square off against the other dragons. So I don't know, it was a lot slower of an episode than I anticipated, I will say that much, and I know a lot of people might feel the same way, maybe even bicker a little bit about it. Like, I expected a really crazy episode because it was the finale, maybe lots of action, tons of deaths and stuff like that, but I mean, it filled a lot of plot holes, character holes, and all this kinds of stuff, which was really interesting. It felt kind of crappy, but really good in the other. Like, I think it contrasted itself enough that I felt like satisfied enough in the end result. So I don't know, maybe like between like an 8 and a 9. I'm kind of really confused how to feel about the episode because I expected something really crazy. It was a good episode though. I think it really was in the end. I think I was just anticipating something so crazy and fast paced, but it really did skip all over the place and like jump straight to King's Landing, all that kind of stuff. The effects with the dragon and all the panoramic shots of the wall was done very well. It was crazy good. We had awesome acting from Tyrion, Peter Baelish, and like Jamie, just the way he expresses his emotions and stuff in this episode. I think it was very well done in a lot of different aspects like that. I want to know what you guys think. Like, is that flame hot, cold? I want to know what you guys think of what's going to happen between Dany and Jon when he figures out he's the rightful heir. And do you think who's going to win the war between the North and the King's Landing round 2? Let me know down below. Give me some love. Let's chat down below. I know it's a little bit long. I'm sorry. I tried to keep it real short, but that kind of got screwed up apparently. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. This is Chaos Spike with Chaos Reviews.